Whoa. Battlebridge Road, stop here. Come, help me down. We must consider our great work in all its aspects. We'll begin with women. Tell me, Netley, do you like them? Women? Can't get enough, sir. Not do you desire them, Netley. Do you like them? As a gender. The way they think? The things they say? Could you, for instance, tolerate a world where females ruled, with men bound to their whims and governed by their scorn? Well, no, sir, put it like that. No, no, indeed. Then offer up a prayer of thanks to these black tenements, these soot-encrusted walls. 'Twas here that womankind's last hopes and dreams were put to sword. Women had power once. Back in the caves, life hinged on childbirth's mystery, and we served mother goddesses, not father gods. 'Twas thus for several million years. Then men rebelled, perhaps a few at first, a small conspiracy, who, by some act of social magic, politics, or force, cast women down, that man might rule. So Onlyfans is banning adult content, they're banning porn, and it's funny because there's a lot of people online who are laughing at people who are going to lose income from this. It's hilarious to me because the lack of self-awareness. Forget empathy. I don't expect a lot of the people I follow are on the right, and I don't expect them to have any real empathy for anybody. I think that they're, one of the main things about being a conservative. You can say what you want. A lot of them are very selfish and only care about themselves. I have a friend who was like, I don't really care about what other people are going through. I just want to make sure I get mine. I don't care about anybody else. And that's just how they are. So I don't care about the empathy part, but you would think that there would be a level of awareness when, there's an adpocalypse and you have YouTube constantly changing the rules on you, keeping people off the platform for the dumbest things, or not even explaining why. Or, you get a video demonetized and you make a video about how, hey, YouTube's demonetizing me and not speaking to me. And then you have people in the comments telling you, haha, get a job. Now you got to go get a real job. All you do is make videos, blah, blah, blah. You're not doing any real work. And then for them not to extend the courtesy, because, they'll push back on that, of course. But they won't extend that same courtesy to these sex workers. They just picture them as just like these lazy girls who are sitting around showing their tits and ass, and that's all, and it's no big deal. And they, so what? They need to get real jobs. But, it's not a problem for them to spend all day yelling about He-Man or Miranda having her ass shots cut from the remaster of Mass Effect. So, it's stupid. But another thing, though, that was interesting to me. I mean, that's, I guess, the main thing that's interesting about all of this is that it's not, because, when they said, oh, porn is their main fucking source of income, OnlyFans. How could they be so stupid to kick all these people off the platform or ban them from the platform after they've made all this money off of them? I mean, how do they think they're going to be successful after this? What do they think, didn't they see what happened to Tumblr? So it's like, why are they making these stupid decisions? But actually, it's not really OnlyFans. It's anti-porn sites that are supposedly, out there trying to protect people from, trafficking or whatever. Although it's not that. They're just Puritans and evangelicals and weirdos. But, this country is just so fucking repressed that any little thing, and it's not just, and that's the thing, it's not just the evangelicals. Like I've been saying over and over again, the SJWs are anti-sex as well. They're prudes. They hate men, so they don't want men getting off on women. It's just this ridiculous, like, Venn diagram of, bullshit. But anyway, so here, let me look at some of these tweets that I saw, because I follow a lot of different sex workers on Twitter. A lot of them are very smart, articulate, very politically conscious, whatever. So, what's incredibly scary is how quick this is happening. Pornhub was defunded only a few months ago because that was one of the first places they went after for to protect so-called protect people against sex trafficking. So Pornhub was defunded only a few months ago. It was a long time from Backpage to Pornhub, but Pornhub to OnlyFans was lightning quick. Any site that rises up will be as quickly targeted. So that's the thing. People say stuff like, and I think they say it here. Well, first let's see this one. So frustrating that, again, the takes are dominated by us. It's a myth. Companies get big, then put us off. Every time they have suffered insane losses. The real reasons they ban this content are more complicated and mostly to do with banks. Big thread on that here. I'm upset at site management too. Maybe wish they would fight harder, but the reality is they are being confronted with full defunding and intentions of management just don't matter eventually. Need to understand this to organize. So they are talking about organizing. I say that because she's Ashley Lake is trans, but yeah, it's always a shit show and just another way it's so unfair to workers. Let me see if I can. All right, it's unavailable. I don't know what happened to them. All right, I think this was a few days ago where they weren't sure exactly what was going on, because when the news reports were saying they were banning porn, OnlyFans kind of made it seem like, oh no, it's just really, extreme stuff. We're not going to do all that. But it's like, whatever. They turned out to be lying. Oh, here it is. So, honestly, I'm sick that random people are like, well, why don't you sex workers start their own site? They do. Or why don't sex workers start their own site? They do. They have. And it comes at extreme personal cost, including but not limited to prosecution, asset seizure, etc. Right. A sex worker literally coded OnlyFans. It was run by longtime adult site management. People get in trouble even for just running their own sites. Yeah, this country is deeply, deeply anti-sex and prudish. And they pretend it's because, they're Christians and they care about good value. But Jesus hung out with, sex workers. He was friends with sex workers. He hung out with all types of people. He wasn't judgmental like that. But, we know, everybody knows, one of the reasons why, there's such a big anti-religion kick is because these people are extreme hypocrites and pieces of shit. But you see, they're not shutting down churches with real, actual harm that's being committed constantly. They don't shut them down. But they shut down the site of people who are just, getting their rocks off and getting other people's rocks off for money. Who gives a shit? The oldest profession in the world, and people are wasting their time and money worrying about... I mean, that's the thing. If you don't like the content, just don't buy the content. But they, again, it's like I always say about SJWs. They always overstate harm. They always say, well, I'm against it because it's going to harm a kid or something. And it's not. But, I mean, these things, banning sex work isn't going to protect children. That's not, whatever. So anyway, let's look on it. I think there was a couple other threads I just wanted to check out. All right, so here's a thread. There's a few of these. I'll probably post the links to the threads in the comments below if anyone's interested. Folks, it's not like blocking sex work from the platform is OnlyFans' idea. They know damn well who their users are. They've been told by Visa and MasterCard that it's either block sex work on the platform or get a complete lifetime ban from accepting credit cards. I don't know what I was going to say. Accepting. That's been a complete lifetime ban for the company and the executive team in the past. Not just the company. AKA, no company with one of those people on the exec team can ever accept credit cards again. I'm not sure if that's the threat here, but it has been done. That's absurd. That's fucking insane. So if you're with a company that gets banned from accepting credit cards payment, if you go to another company that company won't be able to accept credit cards either because you're now on that team. That's fucking ridiculous. What's hilarious about that is that not only are they stopping people from receiving payment, they're also stopping people from paying. So they're deciding what a person can pay for and what they can't pay for, just on the basis of some third-party group of assholes who have nothing to do with anything, just getting involved. So let's see. If you get that threat from a payment processor, you can find another one. You'll pay significantly higher rates, but you can. If you get that threat from Visa or MasterCard, that is apocalypse, and you are fucked up without lube, or you are fucked rather without lube. This, ad apocalypse, payment processor apocalypse. This is an ongoing problem for sex workers. Sex work is banned by all the major card networks out there, and it means sex workers have a very hard time accepting payment. Switching to sites such as Onlyfans only works when there's enough cover. Sex workers use sites that can be used for many purposes other than sex work and hope to fly under the radar. But when those sites become known for primarily containing sex work, the card companies begin to pressure the site, and you get what we see here. The solution will require significant changes. Making voluntary, uncoerced sex work legal is the first step of many, but your anger here is misdirected. Yes, OnlyFans knows it's a dumb fuck move. They have no choice. So one of the things when Bella Thorne opened to OnlyFans or joined OnlyFans and scammed everybody with that, what was it, $200 pictures, $200 nude or whatever. Now she said it was somebody else, it wasn't her. I think she said, I was scammed, I was hacked, or I don't know exactly, but that caused a big uproar, of course. And all the sex workers were like, this is fucking us. Celebrities coming onto these platforms are scoring our money. But not only that, it's the attention brought onto OnlyFans. So, everybody starts to realize, a lot of people knew that anyway about OnlyFans, but like these anti-porn sites see OnlyFans in the news and see that it's a place where sex workers make money. They go, well, now we're going to go to those sites. Now we're going to OnlyFans, and we're going to pressure them, and we're going to get rid of them. And so that's what they did. And there's this woman who's part of the people who, the group who defunded Pornhub and got Pornhub into all that trouble. I think her name is Layla Mickelwaite. I don't know anything about her. I just know that she's on Twitter now. Not at this very moment, but she's on Twitter and doing this dance where basically, because the backlash to this OnlyFans thing is a lot more, surprisingly in a way, more fierce than they expected, these anti-porn people, because, it's by and large, nobody gives a shit about sex workers. Even if they consume or however, even though a lot of people watch porn or engage in porn or whatever, it's sort of at a distance. So they figure, well, even if people do it shamefully, they're not going to outright support sex workers. But apparently online, besides some of the people that I kind of follow and know, there is a lot of support for the sex workers and saying this is bullshit and blah, blah, blah. So what she's doing is trying to do it where she's like, we really do protect sex workers, but it's important for platforms like OnlyFans not to allow abusers on their site, and they just have to do a better job of verifying that. But it's absurd what these new rules that MasterCard is going to be implementing on the October 1st is. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Let me see if I can find that. All right. OnlyFans isn't ditching porn and sex workers because it's trying to get new investments. It's ditching them because on October 1st of 2021, MasterCard is implementing new rules governing sites with adult content that use their payment processing systems. These rules will basically require that OnlyFans and every other site that accepts MasterCard payments not only fully verify every user and every person who appears in every adult video, but review all posted content before publication, including real-time review of live streams. That's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's way too much. There should be a A system in place that simply says, hey, I want to report, I have a problem, I want to report it. And going from there, they should do a better job, these companies, if they're not already doing a better job of being like, okay, we'll look into a complaint, an issue. But I mean, see, that's part of the problem. A lot of these sites don't want to spend the money. Even YouTube, like you hear users all the time talk about how nobody gets back to them, and that's one of the big things about capitalism. They want to make a lot of money, but they don't want to spend any money. So it is kind of a really fucked up situation either way, because Layla Milkowait is on there saying, they should be able to verify. Now, MasterCard's rule still is too much, but there probably isn't a great system for people who do want to complain to OnlyFans or to Pornhub to say, hey, we're having problems, and just get ignored. Nobody pays attention to them. But that's just how they are, because they don't have anybody to do it, really. They don't want to spend the money on that part. They just want to make the money. So, yeah, it is kind of a fucked up system. That's one of the reasons why capitalism is shit. But anyway, yeah, so I will, and so that's the funny thing too, when you talk about capitalism, it's very anti-capitalist to ban porn and ban adult content because you want to make money. These companies, OnlyFans doesn't not want to make money, and OnlyFans doesn't care. They don't have a moral or a moral panic about it. They don't have a shame thing about it. They are being pressured into it. But part of it is they don't want to spend money on doing basic things like being able to immediately respond to complaints and that kind of thing. So they could probably work out something with MasterCard or somebody to say, look, it's going to be too much money for us to do this, but we do promise to do. But at a certain point, I guess it gets to the point where MasterCard's like, I don't even care. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear it from the politicians. I don't want to hear it from the stupid-ass anti-porn groups. This is what we're going to do going forward. Like I said, if these orgs could, not orgs, I'm sorry, OnlyFans probably, Pornhub probably, they could have done a better job sooner before it got to this point where they could have protected their money, better. But who knows? At this point, I think the big deep down issue, besides capitalism, is just the censorship. Everybody wants to control what everybody sees and thinks and feels. And so it does, it's just the fact that McAwait is sort of not backpedaling, but she's sort of trying to defend herself when you would think that she shouldn't have to, that she's got the moral high ground, shows that if people did stick together, it would be better to pressure these like MasterCard and Visa not to just immediately knee-jerk banning content that people don't have a problem with. They're just doing it because a bunch of withered up old bitches are sticking their nose into other people's business, pretending that it's for the kids. Everything that they do is for the kids. Every time there's a complaint about something like video games, I've been saying this over and over again. When people complained about removing the butt shots, Miranda's butt shots from Mass Effect, invariably people would get on there and say, it does harm to have a woman's butt in a video game. Kids will be hurt by this. It will cause harm. So all this overstating harm is, it's on both sides. It's on the Christian evangelicals and on the SJWs. I was watching a Chun-Li a clip of Chun-Li from Fortnite doing the different dances, and so many fucking people in the replies were complaining about the fact that Chun-Li shouldn't be dancing like that and looking the way she did because it was a kid's game. And it's like, calm the fuck down. It's kids. They probably don't, they're kids. All they see is that she's shaking her butt, and they probably think it's funny, if they even seeing that at all. It has nothing to do with them being harmed by an attractive woman. It's like somebody said, because there were people really flipping out and losing their fucking minds in the replies to this one video I saw. And one guy said, damn, it's like you're saying basically an attractive, shapely woman can't even go out in the streets because kids will just lose their minds. Something bad will happen to kids. Like, what are you saying? And people was like, why don't you just go whack off to it in private? and it's like, okay, there's no reasonability or rationality to any of this nonsense. People bring up the kids thing when they don't want to confront that their issue has nothing to do with protecting somebody. It all has something to do with their own hangups. But I have no answers at this point. I have no solutions, rather. It's just interesting to see. And it's just funny to see how many people who make money online, but who are not doing it through sex work, think it's funny that sex workers are being harmed by this, as if that shit's not going to come to them, too. Those same assholes hate video games and say video games are causing harm. And it's causing, I guess, we're used to it and we think nothing's going to happen, really. But, like I said, they also have the SJWs on their side. So even if they don't get the shit banned, they're going to get it watered down so much that nobody's going to care anymore when a big YouTuber gets kicked off because they played a game that has jiggly boobs or something. But anyway, right now, it looks like all these adult content creators are just going to have to hop from website to website. And so maybe we have a more just and equitable society. Take care.